Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You've got to be ready for the hereafter too. So consider where you're going and what you're going to be found worthy and deserving of getting from here. How did you care about the least of men? If not, you didn't care about Jesus Christ. It's as simple as that. Were you living by the golden rule? Were you treating others the way you want to be treated? Were you thinking about others in that way and speaking of others in that way? And did you care? That means, did you love your fellow human being? Did you treat your fellow human being, friend, foe, stranger, as your literal brother or sister? Did you? Because that's the way you're supposed to. We're one race. We're one family. We're one species. And if we don't give a damn about every last human being on the face of the earth, we should expect the one that owns us, because none of us own ourselves since we didn't create ourselves, right? Nobody created themselves. And what did your parents do? They just did what dogs and cats and monkeys do, right? They made it. They don't know how to make a person. Ask them. No, you make a person without the sperm, without the egg. You go make a person. Let's see what you come up with. All by your own. You, the dust of the earth. You make the man to make the male, and then out of the male you take a rib, and then you make the female. Let's see your work. It's not your life. You are owned. I am owned. Okay, that is the right paradigm. That is the right perspective, perception to have in this matter. So we got to care about pleasing our owners. Our owner is a source of happiness. And we not only have a right in the Constitution to pursue happiness, but a responsibility. These things go hand in hand. Because if you don't exercise your rights, you're remiss, and then you end up losing your rights because you didn't treat them as a responsibility. See, if you don't exercise the responsibility of using your rights, then you lose them. And it's your fault for saying, oh, well, it was too hard, it was too controversial, and I just kind of, I shrunk away from the controversy, and I prescribed to an ignorance is bliss philosophy. I took the path of least resistance, and I went with the flow, and I complied and conformed to the establishmentarians' whims, and I went along with this evil system. And it is evil. It is. There is definitely good and there's definitely evil. We've all got it in ourselves. We've got a good side and we got a bad side. We got a spiritual side and we got a worldly side. And it's only us that can decide which side we're going to gravitate to. You know, what are we committed to? Do we cherish those things we wouldn't do for any amount of money? That's a beautiful thing in the sight of God. That's beautiful. Can you imagine? But you live in a world where there's all kinds of people that will do those things for a certain amount of money. They will relinquish their conscience. They will relinquish their integrity. They will relinquish their honor, their reputation, and their very soul. For what? For money. This is a satanic power in this world. We cannot handle it. In the world of tomorrow, will not have it. There is not going to be a heaven where there's any form of money. Get used to it now. Prepare for that world of tomorrow now. I'm everybody's friend. That's my prerogative, just like it's yours. You understand? So, you know, I'm doing what I can to convince people that are wicked, that maybe inadvertently, they don't know because they're confused. They're lost in Babylon. They just thought they were, hey, it was popular, man. I wanted to make a lot of money like these multi-billionaires and multi-millionaires. And, you know, we vaunt and exalt these people. So you understand why they're popular. And I wanted to be popular. I wanted to fit in. And so, you know, I took this course. And you understand what's going on here? You're on the side of evil, even though it appears to be light. You're on the side of darkness. It's of deception. This is the whole idea behind Lucifer, this angel of light. It's a deception. What happened in the Garden of Eden, we were tricked. We were tricked. We were duped. We believed a half-truth. Our ancestors did. And hence, that's the fall of man from the original sin, from eating from this fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the subsequent curse that befell the earth Women's childbearing pains became very painful, and men earned their bread by the sweat of their brow. I mean, this is the cost that we paid for this fall of man, and we're still paying it to this day. Death came into the picture. There was no death before that, and now we've got death, and it's bad. And we got to appreciate what Jesus Christ did for us, proving that there is no death, that God has the last say. We should be all very glad that God turns out to be a very good God, not responsible for anything bad ever throughout history. Okay, he had to give us free will choice. Okay, otherwise we were automatons, and he didn't want automatons. He wanted creatures made in his image and likeness. That's us. That's us human beings. Like little gods, children of God. We've got big shoes to fill. It's written that we're created just a little lower than the angels. We've got to step up to the plates. And we've got to do what we can to be good friends to humanity and by extension to God. Okay, it's all part and parcel of the same thing. We've got to give a damn about each other. We've got to care about God's opinion. What his will for us is not a secret. It's not hidden. It's not a mystery. Otherwise, we couldn't emulate him. We couldn't reflect him. We couldn't represent him properly. So, the whole idea is about winning souls. It's about the harvest of souls that's soon to come. The end of an age is the beginning of a new age. And it's coming upon us very rapidly. You know, we're down this demonic rabbit hole to hell a long way. And I'm scared. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't know where it's going to end. And I just know it's going to take the very finger, the hand of God and his friends working together in concert, unifying against these evildoers that would divide us over stupid things like, oh, you're red, you're blue, you're Democrat, you're Republican, you're conservative, you're liberal, you're socialist, you're capitalist, you're left, you're right. I mean, you're a socialist, you're a capitalist. When you understand they don't give a flying, you know what you are. They just want you confused, discombobulated, ignorant. They want it to hurt your head to even try to think about solutions. But the solutions are everywhere. God gave us the wherewithal to think our way out of this mess that we're in, to unify against the monsters. We ought to fire all these damn politicians. We don't even need them. America is comprised of the people. We, the people. That's the only legitimate, valid government. All these damn, there's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 congressmen and senators that aren't evil. They conspired against us. You look at the bailout of '08, they were in lockstep to rubber stamp that loan, to bail out the criminals that deliberately caused the financial downfall of America. A critical mass, a handful of high-ranking politicians did this. They destroyed America. They murdered JFK. Do you understand what's going on here? Biblical level evil, worldwide. We're in a lot of trouble, and it's going to take God's help to extricate us. We need God. It's so hard to be a human being, to deal with the organic suffering that we all have to deal with that's across the board. It's too damn cold. It's too damn hot. We got a natural disaster here, another natural disaster over there. We got this disease, that disease. We got insects, mosquitoes that can kill us. For God's sake, every kind of disease. We've got predators out there of every sort. This is the organic suffering. It's across the board. I don't complain about that. I know where that's from, and I know what it's going to take to turn that around. It's like Jesus said, at the renewal of all things. This is at the end of one age and the beginning of a new age. Then the whole earth is restored, renewed. No more thorns on roses, okay? No more childbearing pains for women. No more men earning their bread by the sweat of their brow. That's all done. That's organic suffering. I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about the inorganic, unnatural, invented, manufactured suffering at the hands of tyrants. It's financial tyranny, and I pointed out how they're stealing from us. They've destroyed our standard of living. They've destroyed the worth of our money through cost of living inflation. Just like a scale, your cost of living goes up, the worth of your currency goes down. And then they'll tell you it's a good thing because the value of your house went up. God almighty, how stupid are we? But there's people that think they know. They go, oh, I know the scam. As long as it works in our favor, let's go along with it. And all those stupid minions, all those poor people, we're duping them because we're smarter than them and they deserve to be duped. So let's fool them. Let's get them thinking, yeah, that's right, that makes a lot of sense. It's good that my house price went up. Well, we'll talk about the direct correlation between the cost to buy a house and the cost you're paying on rent for the house. We're not going to talk about that. We'll say it's bad when the gas prices go up, but we're not going to say that when it comes to housing prices going up. That's always good. Look, this world is rife with liars, cheaters, thieves, and murderers. You want to be in that camp? Remember where they're headed. They're on the highway to hell. Their hearts are impure. They don't value conscience. They don't value their soul. A lot of them don't believe in God. They don't believe there's a day of reckoning, a judgment day. They scoff. These are the scoffers and the mockers. They think they're that smart. They're that arrogant. What would you do if you were God? And you say, well, but these people are bullying my children, my righteous saints here. Just the regular, everyday, godly people out there, upright, decent people. They're bullying. They're in control because they have this huge advantage. They don't value those stupid things like soul and integrity and honor and that's just conscience. That's for the birds, man. I want money. I'm smart. I want money. So yes, I'll lie, cheat, steal, and dupe you. You betcha I'll stab you in the back. I'll step on your toes. I'll cut your freaking throat. I want money. That's their attitude. You want to be in the camp with those people? When you didn't invent, you didn't create yourself. These people didn't create themselves. What do they think? They own themselves? They think they can control their destiny, where they're going? What's in their freaking head? They think, oh, I die, I'm just not going to exist anymore, so there's no accountability. Something like that, maybe. But I mean, anybody that has an iota of fear of the Lord in their soul, fear God in their soul, which is a beautiful thing, that's called compunction. That's called having a conscience and caring. And saying, wait a minute, there's all these things. I live in a world, I see all these people doing all these things that I wouldn't do for any amount of money. Sometimes they do it for free. Sometimes they'll pay to do it. And sometimes they get paid to do it. But I don't want nothing to do with it. But you've got to be smart. You've got to be wise. Like Jesus said, be ye as shrewd as serpents, but as innocent as doves. You got to get it. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. That's what we have the duty to do. We all have that duty to our fellow human beings. Okay? Do your damnedest to leave this world a little better for your brief visit. Then you're a success. Because God determines whether you're a success or not. Did you really try to teach right values to your fellow human being? And say, hey, you should be concerned about the fact that you might be dead today. Are you on the right side of history? Are you on the right track here? Do you know where you're going from here? What's your relationship with your Creator? Are you listening? God's consistent. He's always good. He's not to blame for anything bad that's ever happened from the dawn of creation up to this moment. But He's to be thanked for everything good that's ever happened from that time. So do you get it? Does she get it? Does he get it? Do we get it? Do we have some relative assurance that we are going to be found worthy and deserving of inheriting a better world? That's what we want to do. That's what we're looking for here, is improvement, evolution, growth, progress, not the opposite. But that's all we've seen is the opposite. Regression and devolvement. And evil appears to have won the game, okay? If you just look at all the appearances, prima facie, that's what it looks like. It looks like a hopeless cause, and why am I even bothering? Well, it's not hopeless because the good guy is going to win. Light is stronger than darkness. Truth is stronger than lies. And eventually it's all going to come out